Today in the show, I'm going to be answering the question, who are Justice League Dark? So before we talk about Justice League Dark, we need to talk about Shadow Pact. This is the team that served as almost the test for Justice League Dark, I guess. They had a 25-issue run which ended in 2008, but this team proved that a magic-based team could work. The whole point of Shadow Pact was so they could take on supernatural things that the Justice League couldn't handle, that they couldn't defeat. This book was kind of done to prove that a magic-based superhero book could work within the confines of the DC universe. Normally, magic things were reserved for the Vertigo universe, but now it was being proven that magic works in the DC universe, which was so good to see. This was a very experimental book because they didn't really know the tonality that would work for a magic-based team, but they eventually found that the tonality that they used for Vertigo books worked in the mainstream DC universe. So they just did that. And it was an amazing run. And because this run was so good, we got Justice League Dark. So Justice League Dark was announced May 2011 as a part of the New 52 lineup, and the book was released the following September. The whole point of the book was to use DC's occult and Vertigo characters, as Vertigo now was going to be reserved for creator-owned content. It was going to be emotionally heavy and emotionally taxing. The first storyline in this book actually deals with the fact that the Enchantress wiped the floor with the Justice League, so it was up to a magic-based team to come along and save the day. Now, I'm not saying Justice League Dark are more powerful than the Justice League. The two groups just serve two different purposes. Comparing them is like comparing kittens to bubble wrap or a spatula to a chainsaw. It just doesn't make sense to compare them at all. The series lasted for 40 issues and ended in 2015, and it was absolutely amazing from start to finish. They actually planned to replace it right away with another book called Dark Universe, which was just going to be the same book but with a different title, and then Dark Universe never came out. We don't know why. It just didn't. And I'm not bitter. The team had a total of 16 members over the course of its run, and I won't name every single one of them, but I will name some of the more important ones. The first one being John Constantine, or Constantine, however you want to pronounce it. He is obviously the main character of the series Hellblazer, so he has now moved over to the mainstream DC universe. But what I will say, the character John Constantine in the DC universe is a very, very loose adaptation of that character. Like, super loose. Like, incredibly loose. Loose. We have Deadman. He's the ghost of a dead acrobat who can possess people. Then we have Madame Xanadu. She actually formed the Justice League Dark. She's a fortune teller, and over the years she's appeared in various Vertigo titles, and she appeared in 1 year later in the mainstream DC universe. So she's no stranger to the DC universe at all. I absolutely love her. I think she was very much underused, and I was very, very happy to see her in Justice League Dark, where she was also underused. Wasn't happy about that part. Then we have Satana, a stage magician with the ability to say something backwards and it would happen. From issue number 30 onwards, she actually becomes the leader of the team, so that's very, very cool. It was actually one of my favorite points of the Justice League Dark book, and then too bad it was cancelled 10 issues later. Again, not bitter at all. You know, I was just waiting for that replacement, it's fine. There is going to be a Justice League Dark movie called Dark Universe. It was going to be directed by Del Toro, but he's actually fallen off of the project. But the movie is actually going to be published under New Line Cinema and not WB. Now, this is probably because every other Vertigo-based movie is actually also going to be published under New Line Cinema and not WB, and this whole movie is going to be about Vertigo titles joining together as a team. So it kind of makes sense, and it's probably going to be a bit more experimental and a bit more dark, and maybe WB don't really want to be associated with that if it flops. A bit like how Disney treated The Nightmare Before Christmas when that first came out. It's also worth saying that the team was supposed to appear on the Constantine TV show, but obviously the show was cancelled before the team got a chance to appear, so That's the thing. I wish there was more to say when it came to this team, but there's honestly not. I really do enjoy them, and I am bitter that it was cancelled. It was one of my favourite titles from the initial New 52 lineup. I won't say it was my favourite. My favourite was Batwoman, but I did enjoy this. It was an emotional book, but it did have your superhero occult things going on. It was just so awesome, and it was so different to everything else as well, but what are you gonna do? It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of Justice League Dark? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking out my Patreon if you want to see bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my vlogging channel if you'd like to start your day with me every single day. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.